Uh, okay, I think it's working now. Um,
Okay, I am not seeing you.
oh, give me 1 second. That is actually because it's a, oh wait, we have reports of being able to see us, so that's good. Let me check on the screen
Okay,
share
we are.
settings. Screen share is now acting up. Shinzan, can you see it now?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go.
awesome. Thank you.
I'm not seeing. Okay, here. Okay,
awesome.
good.
Everyone, I am
Okay,
so sorry
good.
about the technical difficulties. I even after like months of doing this, I'm still apologizing. But thank you for your patience and waiting for us. We are back in business now. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
Yep, awesome. So it's been a very long while, everyone. I don't know if you missed us, but I'm assuming Jinsung, you too. You missed everyone else, right?
Yeah, sure.
I missed everyone.
When was the last time I streamed? I don't
That
even
was
remember. That was
like,
a long time
yeah,
ago.
that was the June AMA and playthrough during Steam Next
Hey.
Fest. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a very long while. We're glad to be back. And talking about Steam Next Fest and the hard mode playthrough, I was impressed.
You were? Because you know what? I wasn't really impressed on myself because I got some characters got killed, you know, like two characters, you know.
I mean, I get that on normal difficulty, so I don't know what you're not
really,
impressed about.
You know, I'm the creator of the game, and I'm supposed to be, you know, be perfect. And I got two characters got killed, and I didn't really like it. You know, if I were playing like myself, if I wasn't streaming, I would be doing over and over until I get.
Gotcha.
But then, because it was a streaming, I didn't want you to get bored because you're looking at the same screen over and over. So I had to move on. But moving on was really hard for me because I want it to be perfect.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I mean, you can't cheat on streams.
Yeah, that's right. So I had to move on. And the problem was because even if this is like right now, it's really hard because it's all the place is all, you know, there's no window because of this the what we call this curtain thing.
Yeah.
But the last time I was streaming, it was really hot, so I was losing my concentration like after 4 hours of the streaming.
Yep.
Should have taken break after like 1 or 2 hours.
That's difficult.
But I you know, if you know, I did not take any break. So I went up all straight 4.5 hours. So like the last 30 minutes was really I could feel myself losing the concentration.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? I was like talking like I didn't even know what I was talking. So
that happens. That does happen.
I know.
I mean, even when I'm like playing for like that long, it it kills me inside a little bit. No matter what game it is. And yes, Jen, after hour 5.
I hear you. I completely agree.
I'd say you lasted much longer than like other people if your brain stopped after hour 5 because mine stopped a lot earlier, I'd have to say.
Mine stopped at like 3.5 hours.
Gotcha.
All right.
8.5 hours.
That's a lot.
2 days to recover. Yes, that sounds about right. But you did reach Clara though. You did find your own voice. Yes, I remember that part. And yes, Eden needed your help. Very true. So yeah, I mean, well, so I guess it might be. Yes, Eden does need help always. That's the whole point. But he's also trying to help others. But that kind of might be pertinent because I heard little bird whispered in my ear about there being a easier difficulty for people like me who I think I mentioned it during my stream. I got party wiped in the first not the tutorial battle, not the like shiny armor battle, but like in the tavern battle. I didn't get party one. Actually, Eden died, so I had to retry a couple times.
Okay.
So I clearly am not made for this game.
Okay. So you're saying that even normal difficulty wasn't enough for you?
Wasn't easy enough. No. I clearly
Wasn't
am
easy
not
enough.
normal. I didn't make
Well,
the cut.
because it's because since the normal is for those who are really comfortable with the SRPG. So we've been developing kind of SRPG game for like more than a lot of years. So so we hear you. We hear all you people who want to play the game, but then it's a kind of a bit hard. So we are trying to add a really like a I'm not sure what we're gonna call this, but easy mode or story mode. I'm not sure what we're gonna call, but it's going to be really easy for you.
Okay. Can you give us?
Like,
go ahead.
It's going to be something like you don't have to think about really what you're gonna have. You don't have to do anything. You just have to attack.
I like the idea as a player, but at the same time, I am scared to admit that I need it.
Well, if you don't think too much, you may still have some difficulties clearing the game, but basically it's going to be really, really, really easy.
Gotcha. We have a suggestion for it to be called story mode. So
story mode is better for you, right?
Yeah. So
I think that's some basic idea we have.
Okay.
We want you to if you want to go over the stories, but not the difficulties of the turn-based battles. So we are preparing this mode for you. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, it gives a better feel than easy or beginner. I tell my friends like, hey, I'm on easy mode, or as opposed to story mode.
Oh, you love the story. I get it.
Yep.
Good.
And for the story.
That sounds better. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, thank you guys. Well, the creative director now caught whiff of it, so we'll see what it ends up being called. So yeah, we have, since it's been a while, we have some really big changes coming. When I was prepping this, I was like, I tried to like cherry pick, might not be the best word. I tried to like kind of sift through and like find the ones that I'd personally be most excited about. So I filtered it with my own eyes as my experience. But first one off, we're gonna have the audio on for it, so we'll go through the video at least once. Here it comes. Oh, why is it not playing?
It's not coming.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
It's a shame.
You got it.
Luck is on my...
Don't drop.
No matter how... Right.
Don't fight.
Let's get it done. It's a shame.
Come and rock.
You got luck.
You separate.
Fake.
No.
No matter...
You.
Left.
No.
Left.
You.
No matter...
Go.
Right. It's a...
Come.
Left.
Go.
No matter... Right.
Why is it getting faster?
You got it.
All right, good.
I can tell whoever recorded it was having fun with it, clearly.
Yeah, he was having fun.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is, as many of you probably just caught, it's unit selection VO we have added. And you can clearly tell that they did it the right way, where it stops when you select the next unit and the next unit's VO plays. So it keeps on switching nicely, and the quick switch demonstration, as funny as it was, it actually shows how, in a way, perfectly, very well done, kind of perfectly implemented there. And so I heard this is not all. So what can you tell us about these type of stuff that are getting added to the game?
Okay, so you have seen the voiceover selection, that whenever you select the character, the character will speak out. Some script, some sentences.
Like a one-liner.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not going to be fixed.
It's
there are some different kind of lines.
Okay.
So we're gonna go over like I'm not sure if it's a random or switch over one by one, but
Okay.
you're gonna hear different voices over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want you to get bored with the one
Yep.
rhymes,
That's
So,
always good. Variety is always good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing, and we are trying to add, and we call this signature lines.
Okay.
It shows you the characteristic of each character.
Yes.
So if we have a character who's really brave and aggressive, he's gonna say something like aggressive lines.
Yes.
So it shows the different kind of personalities of each character, and adding in addition to those, we're gonna have the retreat lines. I think we have already added. I think I've even heard that in our latest development client. So whenever he gets killed or being so you're gonna have the lines like, oh, I shouldn't have done that or something like that.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna have a retreat voiceovers.
Okay.
And another thing that we are added, it's not the lines, but when you are attacking, we're gonna have some sound like grunt, grunt sound.
Yep.
And when you are being attacked, you're gonna have another sound there as well. So it will really make the game richer in sound ways, audio ways.
Yep. As someone mentioned, it adds it adds charm to the game. And,
that's right.
To the characters as well. So it's actually a nice touch. Well, people know that I work for Ocean Drive, so I was able to play the latest build a little bit and actually saw that I did hear some of these VO, and what personally caught my eye was, like in the battle combat sequence, there are the soldiers, and they get VO as well, right? Or I mean, like they chanted something, if I hear correctly.
Chanting sound. You mean the background soldiers?
Yes, the soldiers in the background. Yeah,
they get the sound as well. Yeah, they have some sounds.
Yeah. I actually like that touch personally. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So.
All right. I didn't really notice that sound because I've been hearing for so long.
Oh, okay.
I thought maybe wasn't it not included in the demo?
It may have been, but it may have stood out for me again with the actual like characters, like the hero characters being hit. I think that may have been it. Yeah.
Okay.
It like kind of like how it adds layers of different sounds and effort. So I personally really like the effect it had.
Let's play the movies again.
Okay.
There
we go.
Parts. Let people hear it.
Yep. There we go. Going right on.
Oh, I can't hear the sound.
Let's get it done.
Let me redo that. My bad.
It's a shame.
You got it!
Luck is on my...
No problem!
No matter how... Right!
Don't fight!
Let's get it done. It's a shame.
Coming right!
You got luck.
You straight!
Fake.
No,
No matter...
you-
Left.
no,
Left.
you-
No matter... Right.
Don't-
Left.
don't-
No matter... Right.
Cracks me up.
So
You got it!
this was this clip was made for us to choose which way we were to which way we were to choose the sound overlap, voice overlaps. So we had to this is the final version. This is like something that we built the previous characters sound. If another one is selected.
Yes.
And we also had a option where we just play through everything and then move on, But then if you do the, come and go like really quick, it's gonna be really chaos.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think we have the clip of it, but I don't think we have shared with you. But it's really funny
because we'll be able to. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because the voice was overlapping and overlapping. So
will there be a day we can share that as like a blooper, like a NG cut?
maybe like 2 years later, I'm not sure.
Okay, but someday we'll try to bring that back to you so that you can laugh about it.
I try to save those movies. I mean,
Okay.
movie clip, the screenshot clips.
10th anniversary. Yep, and
All right.
Eden definitely be rapping there.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I personally really enjoyed it, and personally it also helps at, like not just adding characters, like personality to the characters, but like it helps me identify like sometimes, especially if I'm selecting units with the QE, like the unit switch button, like sometimes I don't know which one I got to, but the VO will definitely help. Like, you know, like I can totally tell
It does,
Leon's
it does.
voice apart from like Eden's, for example, and Francisco, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll also have some benefits there as well. So yeah, that was one of the biggest changes personally that I found. Another big one. Here comes.
There's another big one.
Oh, it was
Which one?
definitely big to me, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what it does. It's this one. Let's.
Okay. Have you seen it?
Yep. We'll watch through the
I mean,
video.
not. I've been talking to viewers.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you guys noticed what the difference was? Or because since it's a Korean, it may be difficult for you. All right. Should I explain?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. This is the I think a battle save.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, during the battle, you can always quit and come back to it. You know. I mean, this is a feature that most of the people asked for. So we've been trying to add. I mean, there are some bugs because there are some issues, like, you know, to show those effects and everything, like when you're got frozen, and like I think it's a fixed, but when you're frozen, I mean, when you're or loading the battle again, it didn't show, you know, something like that. But we had a lot of problems, but we've been trying to fix everything.
Yep.
So now we have the feature that you can always quit the battle and come back later. Yeah.
So just to answer the chat, blue highlight, we'll cover it in a little bit.
Yeah,
Hentai.
it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
And then yes, save state is definitely harder. And personally, I think I had to like quit before I hit the first camp during like the first playthrough, and like I had to play through the entire thing again because, you know, you can only save at camps. You could only save at camps during the beta build, and the demo build.
That's right. That's right.
And like, you know, like the first camp I think is chapter 3, and I was like. And as I said, I was losing the first 2 battles, so I was like, it's just painful sometimes. So yes,
you know, we have an auto save feature so that you can always come back to where you quit as well. Not the battles though.
Oh yeah, the camps, yes. Yeah.
So so we have the battle save feature, but like the Jen mentioned that it is really hard to, you know, save the states and restore it. We have to go through every single state of every, you know, thing, everything going on in the battle. You have to, you know, restore everything, you know. And this is also same for the you know, we're gonna cover probably next. But the, you know, when you know, restore the turns, you have to, you know, to restore the states,
right.
and
every
you know,
action and state. And,
yeah, that's right. So it's kind of hard.
Yes.
It may seem like easy, but it's not that easy.
Right. So does the game on the back end, if I may ask, track like every history for that battle up until that point, pretty much?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Because we have the complete feature of the what was the name of it?
The undo system.
Undo system. So you can always go back to the beginning of the game I mean, if I'm not sure anybody will use it because you can always restart the game. You don't have to undo it and use up your count if you are going to go the very first tunnel.
There's the restart feature separate. Yeah, that's true.
Better. So but we do have the feature save up every action.
Gotcha.
So that you can go ahead.
Oh, no. No. We'll cover the undo system in a little bit, but for the save video though, I did notice it's just pretty much canceling out to the title it's showing, and then it's resuming, which can be slightly different from like saving and loading. And I know that some, especially very difficult games, allow saving for each turn, and I've seen people use it. I personally have used it before.
I use it if it's available.
Yeah. So will that be a thing for Lost Eidolons?
Well, I don't like you to do it. I don't like my users, my players do that kind of things over and over. I mean, I do it. I personally do it if I can do it, but I don't like to do it.
Okay.
And sometimes I forget to do it, and then shoot. I mean, I've been playing like XCOM 2, like in my private, streaming, and I had to go back like 30 minutes ago. Every time I forget about it, so I lose my minutes. Yeah. So I really don't like you to do it, and that's why I have we're gonna introduce this, but undo system where you can go anywhere you can go. If you did something wrong, you can always go back to where you want to start again. So we don't want you to save and load every time. So but this save feature is much needed because our battle may last like more than 30 minutes or maybe more than 1 hour. I'm not sure. It depends on people. So, but you probably don't want to, you probably may want to go, go on date, or you have to go to school, or I don't know, you have to go to bed. But so you can always, quit and save and resume later.
Yes.
That's, much needed.
Yeah.
This is why we have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mid-battle save in Lost Eidolons will be more for convenience of not having to redo the entire battle if you have to, bolt out or like get to the next thing. And the like turn-by-turn save thing will actually be covered in the undo system that we're about to talk about next. But before we go to undo system, big question. Will there be cloud save?
Will there be cloud save? I think we will have it. I think we will have it. Don't worry about it.
It's very useful because especially like
sure.
Well, I guess I don't have multiple computers, but Lost Eidolons it's part of my work, right? Part of my job to play it, right? Yes, and cloud save is definitely helpful. It's definitely helpful for people, and XCOM is indeed mean like that. We have some comments about XCOM being mean. Yes.
I mean, I love the game. I mean, I really enjoyed the game. Yeah, I did. I finished up without being anyone killed, and I loved it.
Gotcha. Awesome. And without further ado, let's move on to the undo UI, because personally, I enjoyed it. And yes, it's impressive that you beat XCOM without people dying.
Imagine how many times I save and load.
Uh-oh.
Am I better at XCOM than your own game? No. If I had the undo feature, I wouldn't have anyone being killed. Don't worry about it. I'll be better. I will be better at my own game than XCOM. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay, this is the movie, the game capture feature featuring the undo system, where you have seen the list of the turns, the characters. That's each turn so we can go anywhere you want to go.
Yep.
So whenever you thought you start thinking that I'm doing something wrong with it, you can always go back to where you think you were right. And although we do have the limitations on the count usage, I mean, you can't do like unlimited amount of the undos, but we will give you like some count then, and you can use on your own, benefit.
Yep. I remember it being like anywhere from 5 to 10. So if I wanted to, does it mean that I can only go up until like 10 actions before, or like how does that limit work?
Okay, so before we gave you the prototyping of the undo system,
The beta, yeah?
Every time you undo, it was using up the count, but then
it was one action.
This is one action per count, but this is one moment per count. So wherever you put your turn, and I want to go back to that state, then it's gonna use up the one count.
So say if I'm at like turn 20 of a battle, I can go back to like first turn pretty much, or like second turn, and that'll use only one count, right? That's right. That does sound very good.
Yeah. So this is something that I wanted to have. This was the must feature for me, because I don't want you to do the save and load each battle turn. And this is because we have this feature. This is why we don't give you the save and load during the battle.
Right, you don't need it.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
That makes sense.
Actually,
this is a lot easier, and it actually gives you a lot more visibility without the uncertainty of like at this time, like at 30 minutes ago, where was I? You can't tell until you go. But this way, you can see the timeline and kind of climb up and see what actually happened. That makes a lot of sense.
This gives you a continuity of the game as well. I mean, you are still in the game, and you choose where you want to go. But if you do the save and fit load, you have to quit the game. And then you may never come back again. I don't want you to be creating the game and start the game again, and then no, maybe I'm so tired. Maybe I should go back to sleep or something. I don't want you to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. You should be in the game. Yeah. This is the feature that I wanted.
Smart. Yeah. I personally really like it, and I mean, seems like everyone likes it. And
this is unlikable. It's not something unlikable.
Yeah, and I mean, also it probably was indeed a lot of difficulty to implement it. Like, were there any memorable challenges you had when you were implementing?
Yeah, this is the same thing. Like we are having a lot of bugs because we have to save every state and restore every state accordingly. So when you do some action and some effect should be there, like the fire effect, then it has to be, if I undo it, you have to remove the fire effect,
right?
And we also have to restore the damage taken by the fire. If you have seen you have been in the fire wood, you will get damage over time, right?
Yeah, and depending on how many turns you were in there,
yeah, that's right. So we have to store and restore every state of it.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of it's those things are the hard things.
Gotcha.
So this is why it took a lot of time for us to develop.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
so this is done. If this is done, the battle save will be done. That this is why the two features came together.
That makes sense. And this was the original vision that just took time to implement. That wasn't unfortunately done by beta, right? Yeah. And this is beautiful. I love it. Restore items to make sure everyone's health is accurate. and so on and on and on for the QA tiers. Yes.
It's really like those effect and state things there could be some missing things, like because there are a lot of different cases.
Yeah, like a critical hit or a guard, especially because that changes the damage numbers too, right? That does sound like a lot of work. Thank you. It looks beautiful from a player perspective. The done product looks beautiful and very useful, as you said, to a degree that it completely eliminates the need of like having to save each turn and trying to load each time. Yeah, this is great. Thank you. Next one is, personally, I think it's still a pretty big change. I've personally seen a lot of people request this, but you can rebind WASD. Okay,
this may seem it may seem like tiny feature, but we had had a lot of feedback from those people who were using non-QWERTY keyboard. Until now, I did not really notice there are a lot of people using those.
There are different keyboard layouts. Yes. It's sometimes.
I have not been noticed that there are a lot of different layouts of the keyboard since I've been using this QWERTY keyboard for entire my life, like 40 years.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know the existence of the Ajari keyboard, and this feature was kind of excluded from others. I mean, like we had the features to rebind the like single keys, but this WASD feature is more like like a 4 keys combined together as a one feature. Right. So we had to implement the 4 keys at once change feature kind of feature. So that's why we had we needed a little time to develop.
But you also made it easier for the players so that they can change all 4 together to their liking instead of having to click on each one and like changing one by one. I've had to do that for another game before, so this is a lot better to be able to change it in a group. And yes, it's great for accessibility. There are some language specific keyboard layouts as well as completely like different keyboards. I've actually seen some keyboards like I think give equal sizing to each key. So like the WASD may not necessarily like line up as it would.
Yeah, that's
on a
right.
Keyboard. So yeah, it's definitely helpful to give, I guess, in a way, complete freedom for players to rebind keys. I assume this also is going to be the same for the arrow keys as well, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think so. I'm not sure. I hope so.
Hopefully it'll be easy enough to implement on the arrow keys as well. If it's not there, I'm thinking it's likely there, but yeah.
We could always add those features once we've done it.
Yeah. And
don't worry about it.
Thank you for going through that. Since you mentioned it is not easy. We have a fan for you in the chat.
Really?
We just called out for you on YouTube.
Really? YouTube? I haven't seen. The YouTube chat isn't being laid out, right?
I mean, let me see if I can give you the link to this.
Sorry.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
Let's go. I've seen it.
We have your fan here. And on a similar note, we have I stole this art from the internal stuff. I mean, I got the permission, of course. These are the icons for the control schemes, right? They were looking pretty good. Is there anything you can share about like was it a lot of like design work? Like is there any special thought that went into it?
Well, last time we had the designs one really like the size wise, it was like some things like enter or control or tab was a little bit big, and I really didn't much like it. So I wanted the keys to be have some standard size.
Kind of uniform in the size.
Yeah,
okay.
like height wise. And now you see all those keys are being the same size as same height, and yeah. I mean, those control keys and art keys couldn't be shorter. So I mean the length of it. So it was a bit of longer, but we have all the keys laid out as the same size. I mean, the single keys were all the same. They are all the same size, and control art and the space keys are the same size. So we wanted to. This is because aesthetic wise, I want it to be more like pretty.
Yeah. I like it.
when it's laid out. So.
And these will show up all in that nice new key binding where you can change everything.
Yeah.
Yep, you'll be able to find it there. Next one up is, sorry to make you wait for so long, but we have that blue outline.
All right.
So,
all right.
Yep,
this blue outline is the our response to those feedback where you guys have really hard time to identify what kind of characters there are you have and what kind of characters left to have actions to do,
Gotcha. So the ones that you move in the video, they actually lose the outline. As you can tell. Yeah.
And you can also see through the all the objects.
Right.
You know your characters are there.
I remember
so now
turning the camera, tried to find.
So yeah, that's right. So you now know exactly where your characters are, and you also know what characters have not been acted on. Is for the easier identification of each character. And because the characters now have all the outlines, like, oh, this is the one with the bow, one with the the spear. Okay, this one has a bow, and that one has an axe. You know it.
The silhouettes make it easier. Yes, I was about to say.
It makes you much easier. Yeah. So when this was actually implemented like a first, I didn't really like it.
Okay.
And I know you guys didn't like it. The green and others, I know it because I got the feedback from you guys too. Because let me tell you, because I intentionally made it to be thick, and now I made it thin.
Okay.
And try to look at those latest client, and I think you're gonna love it.
Gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure we're gonna provide you guys the option to remove the outlines, because I know some of the people don't like the outlines, but if you remove it, you're gonna feel like something's missing.
Okay.
It's like, something's missing. I'm not sure what, but something's missing. And you turn the outline on. There is something you're missing.
So you're confident that people are gonna like the new version, and
yeah, sure, I'm sure.
Just for the viewers' clarity, this screen I didn't mean to point at the camera. The screen you're seeing is the older version where it's not like this in the actual. It will not be like this in the actual game. Yes, it's good to have the option to turn off, and purists will indeed want to turn off. Yes, finding Robert will be a lot easier. Yeah, my initial reaction of not liking it was, I really like the aesthetic direction and the design decisions of the game. So I felt like the neon blue, kind of stood out a little bit too much.
Oh, well, that was very much intentional.
It does make it very, very visible. I will say that. But I was like, I I want to look at Marshall like as Marshall is, or like Clara as Clara is, like not the blue lights around.
I hear you.
So yeah,
I mean, that was intentionally. We wanted to have a very use of it. We wanted to see it.
Yeah.
So we made it thick. Now we aesthetic wise, I know it wasn't good enough. So we made a thicker outlines to be more thin. So it will be much better. It won't be something like I don't like it. It's like it was. I know when it was thick, I said, what was that? You know, that kind of reaction. But now, if you look at the thin lines, that's something new.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if I like it. It's that kind of reaction you're gonna have. You know?
So it's more polished now, right? Awesome. I'll look forward to it in the newest build that I can play.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you play it. You let people know how you like it next trip.
I'll be the blue outline evangelist, I guess.
If you still don't like it, tell the people to turn it off.
Okay, yes.
You can do that.
Given the option. Yep. And the VO will also help with the visibility thing. So once again, we're making a lot of changes that will only be helpful when put all together. I'm looking forward to it. Yep.
A lot of polish is being done. So like compared to demo, I mean, I don't see like a lot of differences because I'm too used to it.
You're seeing it every day.
Yeah, I know. So but those people who are like those people who are going to play at the launch day will see a lot of differences, compared to demo.
Yep. Some of it I'll be sharing in a little bit, or even next stream at this point. But yeah,
sure, yeah.
But yeah, no, like I whenever I get into the dev build, I do like what I see, except for when I encounter a bug.
I hear you.
Thank you. The next one is also another visibility improvement where we have grid improvements. The image might be a little small for the viewers. Jin Sang, would you mind explaining what's going on, like what this image or the 4 images are demonstrating?
So the grid colors were being some kind of issue from the demo. People didn't like the colors and wanted to have some feature where you can identify what each colors are being represented for. So we have not redesigned, but changed the colors a bit so that we know like what is what, like this and this 4 different type of pictures showing 4 different type of writings.
Okay.
So we have the night one at the upper right, and we have like a daylight, we have like a early morning light. So all those different writings will give you, same kind of experience.
Gotcha.
So this grid has been a bit of changes.
Yeah. So the 4 images are demonstrating the same improvements under different lighting to ensure that it's still visible in all types of lighting, because nighttime battles can be hard to see things. And one of the changes, I guess I'll just spoil it, is that there were feedback about when the enemy attack range overlaps with your character's range, it was kind of hard to tell because everything was just in red squares, even like your movement range, and the overlap has a separate color now, right?
Each enemies,
or when you have the enemy range viewing and your unit's range viewing, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was overlapping because they were being the same color, but now we have different color, I think.
I believe so, right?
So yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
the people were being confused. Is this something that I can attack or he can attack? Kind of.
Yeah.
So we have been changed the colors.
Yeah. So it's easier to tell whether before it was just like all red squares, whether it was the enemies or your units, but now the overlap has a different color, so it's easier to tell. It's a relatively small change, but it's a nice to have for sure.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have some other nice quality of life changes coming along. This one, Jin-sang, would you mind explaining? It's the terrain.
This is the UI changes. Just simple UI changes to be, to be consistent with the other UIs. So we have changed the windows and colors and the look of it.
Yep. And on the top left, you'll see now 2 boxes. In the demo build or the beta build, you would only have seen the first one, which just explains the tile that you have the grid selection on. Now we have a second box telling you what type of elemental synergy effects you can have, right? Yep.
These are all Koreans, so people may not understand it,
right.
but you will have more explanations.
Because I think there were even myself, I when I saw the tutorial for elemental synergy, I took a screenshot and like tried to memorize, like almost like studying for an exam. I was like, so if you had like poison and fire, it explodes. Like if you do this and this, it does that. Like I had to like have a mental cheat sheet, but now it'll just be part of the UI so that you don't have to go back to your notes each time. I had to. So yeah, and some other UI quality of life changes. This one, I believe, is the formation UI, right?
Yeah, this is the formation UI. This is like same as the one before. It's trying to be consistent with other UIs. If you look at the look of the character list, it kind of looks like an undo feature. Like undo looks alike, and just update of the UIs.
Yep.
It gets more polished than finished.
And another UI was the more info. This is also in Korean, so it might be difficult. But can you explain to us like what type of changes?
The same thing, yeah. This is like we added the windows has been changed and the color scheme has been changed. The ones that we are listing all the items and passive, all those things has been updated.
I see a gold item there.
Really?
In the middle, right? Is that a gold item?
I don't know. Maybe it's some legendary something.
We do have those.
Yeah, we do.
We're already at the 55-minute mark.
I told you we're gonna take a lot of we'll have a lot of time to cover all these.
Of course we have more stuff to share, but I want to we also have the next one. Oops, I forgot to mention this at the start because of the technical difficulties, but you may have wondered why it took a while for us to come back. Of course, everyone was working very hard to, bring about these changes, as you heard earlier, like the save, mid-battle save, for example, and the undo system, like those changes didn't come easily. It was a lot of work for everyone. But and we have other stuff going on, of course, as we near to the launch of the game. We decided to hold the dev chat session on a monthly cadence, but longer, because previously we tried to aim for like 30 minutes twice a month, but now we are just compiling a bunch of changes and sharing about them for about an hour each month. So just letting you know, after this one, we'll come back in a month, not 2 weeks. Just a heads up.
All right.
But yeah, before we start wrapping up, I do want to open it up for any questions from the viewership.
Also, we're not gonna show any more stuff.
I mean, I would be happy to. Would you like to? I want to show the next one at least.
I don't care. I don't mind.
Anyone in the chat want to see more stuff? I'm gonna share it no matter what. At least one more, because.
All right.
Jen, thank you. Well, next one is definitely exciting for me personally, and it's something that's you got us. Yes. It's something that hasn't been shared before, I believe, which is these are just icons, but guess what these are for?
I don't think anyone really know.
I'm being mean at this point, am I not? These are
Okay.
oh, these. You know what? If these aren't copyrighted, I might. It could be my new tattoo. These are for achievements.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anyone talked about before, if I remember correctly. The floor
Because
is yours.
we never had one, we weren't really thinking about adding achievements system in the game, but what we were thinking was that if you know that I've been playing a lot of games on Steam, and some people are really obsessed with the achieving all the achievements in the game, like the some console game, there's a if you achieve everything you get the platinum something. And even those Steam games, if you achieve the 100%, you get something like when your profile page is there are some listings that you have been achieved 100%.
I remember seeing that 100% mark on your Elden Ring.
Yeah, I did that because it was kind of easy for me to do the Elden Ring 100%. So that was something achievable things. And I am playing the Slay the Spire like these days. I mean, I've just finished the game, but I found that that this game is kind of hard to achieve 100%.
Yeah, it has some difficult ones.
So this achievement system is something that people love to have, in the game. So we thought that why not, so let's have it. So we started to add this feature lately, and we are coming up with some more than like 10 or 15 more. I think it's more than 15 achievements, interesting achievements you're gonna have.
So these designs are more like iterations or different like I guess variations of what will become the final icon, right? There are a lot more. I couldn't fit everything in the screen, so I had to
we have like more than 15 achievements, so more than more than 15 icons. So
is there any like example achievements you can share us without kind of spoiling it? I'm not sure if there is, but
there are hidden achievements.
Oh dear.
Man, did I spoil you?
No. It's just like I wouldn't literally lose sleep, but I will worry about like what's the conditions for that one.
So there are some kind of hidden achievements.
Okay.
And you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it.
Okay, so it must be very good. Cool. I'm gonna go back on the chat a little bit. We have one question about will there be public beta? Well, can we have like a beta build for the public so that people can see the changes themselves? Because I'm kind of like I get to cheat and like go into the dev build and play it, but I can talk about all the excitement, but I can't talk about what I'm actually seeing. So people are excited to see it, but will that ever be a possibility?
Well, I love to, but I think we are almost near the launch, so it may be better for you to just play the launching version.
Yeah, hang tight just a little bit. It'll come to you. The game will come to you. Yeah, wish we could do another beta, but it's a little too close. And yes. Oh, and there were also talks about Slay the Spire. Well, now that it's been mentioned, the composer is the same as the one who did Lost Eidolons. I had to mention it. Clark Abood, he did Slay the Spire and Lost Eidolons, the music, right?
Yeah.
Just had to mention it now that I saw Slay the Spire.
Yeah. And that's why I've been playing really hard on the game.
Mhm.
I've been listening to music, you know.
So it's been like a music simulator or like a jukebox for you, pretty much. We have questions about how can you watch your personal streams.
How can I watch my personal streams? You can visit my channels. You can always watch it. And you can always come to my private streaming as well, and you can always have some feedback on the game. I will listen to it.
Will it be in Korean, English, both?
Well, it's basically in Korean.
Okay.
Because all those people watching my stream are Korean.
Gotcha.
But I don't mind speaking English during my private streaming as well. So I don't care.
Gotcha. Yep. Souls-like are not easy to play yourself. Yes. Cool. So this was a big one with the achievements. I am happy to be the one heralding in this first ever feature being revealed to the viewership. Does anyone have any questions about the game or like the achievements, what you've seen, or like if you have a burning desire for a feature and like want to ask whether it'll be in the game or not, or like, like I guess no story spoilers. I have story questions that I'm like I can't ask, or I can't.
Do you have story questions? What kind of question is it? I'm not sure. I'm gonna answer you. But you can always ask.
No, it'll include a spoiler, so no.
Not here. Okay. Question itself includes the spoiler, then you shouldn't be asking.
No. So
all right.
But if you do have a burning question, or like, like, I know that we have Robert fans, so. Cool.
Want to come watch the stream even in Korean? All right, sure. You're always welcome.
I'll give the chat a little more time in case you're trying to think of a question. Let me see if
we can later.
Go for it.
Let's just see. Let's just see it. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm trying to see if I can find my own list of questions for me to ask as a player of Lost Eidolons. Ooh, we got a good one. Well, the question: are there DLC plans in the future?
Well, currently we don't really have an exact DLC plans for it, but I have some, things in mind. Like it all depends on if I get approved or not. It has to be performed well enough at the launching, so it's worth making DLCs. So we could. I've been talking about this DLC plans a lot. We can always have a character story. And which character you're gonna be asking, I'm pretty sure. And if you ask us, then I know that the characters will be chosen based on the popularity of the users. If people love to see the story of Marcel or it's Clara, Sarah, Andrea, or maybe Robert, Leon, Robin, I don't know. It depends on you guys. So,
team up.
I'm pretty sure we could come up with a story based like a in short we're gonna have a 3 or 4 episodes and in long, like we could have all the way up to like a 10 episode, and we're gonna have a story each episode. So like it all depends on
we have a request for 20 Francisco missions.
Whoa, that's going to be really like hard to improve. Come up with a story. 20 missions, all right. Try to think of.
Now that you mentioned it, so these will be like story driven, like battle and story, like pretty much like an additional episodes, not like separate from the side battles that you're adding, right?
Well, this DLC story could be implemented in the game,
Mhm.
and then in the camp, like if you go to whenever the point is,
Mhm.
like wherever you are. I mean,
Oh,
even
okay,
if
okay.
before the ending, if you want to have a Francisco story,
Mhm.
you can go to the Francisco. Hey, you
Okay, okay.
remember the time
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
we did something and something?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we did have some, something.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it, and then you can go to the story mission on Francisco
Mhm,
like
mhm.
that.
Cool.
So it could be anywhere in the game.
Mhm.
So this is something like a story-based DLC
Yeah.
we probably may have.
Mhm.
And other things I was thinking
Mhm.
was that we're gonna have a
Ooh.
different kind of, like a maybe mini games or side
Oh,
mission
okay.
kind of
Uh-huh.
battles, but different kind of battles.
Oh.
Like I've been playing Slay the Spire recently, right?
Yep.
We could have a kind of Slay the Spire, like a deck building, roguelike mini games.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? It Instead of a deck building,
Mhm.
it could be character building.
Right.
So it's not going to be card,
Mhm.
but it's going to be the skills.
Mhm.
So it's if you know that there are
Mhm.
5 equipment skills you can equip,
Mhm.
you will have 5 skills to equip, right?
Mm-mm.
So you're gonna get the skills that you're gonna love. You're gonna you pick and choose. Then you can equip to the character you like to,
Uh-huh.
or characters that you are trying to build.
Mhm.
So you are going to have some character building, roguelike battles
Uh-huh.
and mini games. So
Sounds
you
really good.
battle, and then after the battle, you get the rewards, you get the skills,
Mhm.
you equip to the characters,
Mhm.
and you do the next battle.
Mhm.
Go and go and go.
Yeah. I've been
Sounds
playing a
interesting, huh?
few roguelikes myself recently, so
Mhm.
I totally see the appeal. And Jen said she had never shut the game off at that point, and then we have also a request or mention of 100-level endurance tower.
Yeah, that's just something like something we could actually do,
Mhm.
but having like 100 level endurance tower after you beat the 100, floor it's kind of done.
Mhm.
So I don't like the idea of having fixed, like a fixed battlefield, like being harder and harder.
Okay.
So I want the idea of this roguelike feature thing better, because every time you play,
Mhm.
it's going to be different experience.
Okay.
So I mean, we could do that in the 100 level endurance tower. We could have
Right.
randomized enemies,
Mhm.
but then it's basically you just gets harder and harder,
Mhm.
but doesn't really have much difference on like your deck, your character
Right.
wise. I mean, you could always come up with a different skill sets,
Mhm.
but then it will be limited. So
Mhm.
so I like the idea of having different features coming up
Right.
every time you play,
Mhm.
and you're gonna have a different experience
Right.
in enemy wise
Mhm.
and your character wise.
Yeah. And I mean the 100 level might be a roguelike 100-level tower, right? At this point. Cool. I mean, sounds like you have a lot of ideas. This is news to me, guys. I love it. I love this right now. Which also means show a lot of love for Lost Eidolons, because that way we'll have more DLCs coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm really love to have those features.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. I will be there for you. You have my support, my full support there. And Jen's support as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for the record, it was an earlier chat, Jen. For me, it was Leon, where it was a vicious cycle of I lost him like early in the game for one battle. He kept falling behind in EXP and level, and it was like I couldn't get out of him of that like gunner. I'm like, shoot. So yes, it's keeping Robert alive being hard. I totally hear you. For me, it was Leon. Just wanted to make sure I don't, skip that one. And then I'm going through the chat just once more to make sure I didn't miss anything. Cool. I think we got everything covered from the chat. If I did miss anything, please let me know. A lot of you know I am still new to this whole streaming thing, so I remember the first few streams you told me to watch chat, and I'm like, what chat? I've come a long way, okay?
Good.
And I appreciate the support, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll admit one of the reasons it was for like bi-weekly cadence was I wanted to share more stuff because you can tell I love these changes that they're making and the polishes they're making. It's just that I guess it's more difficult to do it more often because I can't keep the creative director away for too long.
It's a kind of hard for me to get up early in the game or morning.
That's true.
Too.
It's morning in Korea, so I really appreciate you carving out your time in, especially
and also my room is really hot. It's like 32 degrees Celsius right now.
Oh dear. Inside?
Yeah, I don't have an air conditioner here.
I am sorry.
It's alright.
That's rough.
I think as long as it gets less than 2 hours, I think I can keep the concentration level as the same as possible.
Gotcha. Yeah. One gamer question from my end. Yep. 32C feeling is rough. Recording booth can be rough as well, Jen.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's all like closed right now.
You got a tip. Stand in the refrigerator when you're done. As long as your children don't stop you. But yeah, my question as a player of Lost Eidolons, I looked you up. I will admit it. I looked you up, and I know that you added multiplayer in a turn-based strategy before in the past. For Legend of Cao Cao. Will there ever be similar plans? Because we were talking about DLCs. Ever be similar plans like multiplayer for Lost Eidolons as a DLC?
Well, when we were when I was trying to make a plans for the game, I had a multi PvP in mind.
Okay.
I always had it in mind.
Gotcha.
Because the way it is being played is really, really fun, and I really loved it. My experience in the previous game.
Okay.
So it was really, really fun to even play the game. Every time you come up with the different opponents, and they may have the same Eden, but depends on the items and depends on the skill sets. They have different Eden. It's a different Eden than your Eden.
Right.
So you're gonna be, whoa, that's possible.
Right.
I'm gonna do it. That kind of things. You could have. So I love the experience I had with the multiplayer PvP turn-based. So I always have it in mind. But the problem with the multiplayer is always the user base. You have to have enough people playing the game. That and it has to be only not just the single player game, but those people not playing single player game but multiplayer game should be enough. The number of it, number of users should be enough. So I'm not really sure if we are going to have enough people for us to think it's worth to make the multiplayer version of it.
It will be a lot of work too, right?
Yeah, it will be a lot of work too as well, because we were like designing the game based on like we may go multiplayer as well. So we were designing it, but then at the very middle of the development, we were having a lot of trouble because of the multiplayer features that we were thinking. And I was like, some people were saying that hey, we may not even have it. Why do we have to bother with it? Because it makes a lot of thinking should be done. So I was like, hey, let's ignore about the multiplayer. Let's just skip it. Let's assume that we may not have it.
Gotcha.
So we've been developing it. So because of that, if we are going to have the multiplayer version, we will have a lot of challenges.
Gotcha.
To be faced. So but I do love to. My ultimate goal is to have a multiplayer version of it. So if not in this Lost Eidolons, maybe if we get more popular on like next version of it, well, I'm sure we love to develop Lost Eidolons 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not sure how many we can go, but as long as we can go and as long as we get a lot of user base, if we get it, I'm pretty sure I will want to make it multiplayer.
It is awesome to hear that you do have these plans lined up, because I was when I was asking, I was just curious, but like now, like you sharing that part about your planning and everything, it does make me appreciate a lot more, especially the development. So thank you. And yeah, it sounds like you have plans for at least the fourth game, including DLC, not even including DLCs. I'm gonna look forward to it.
Let's be more exact. I know I have a plan for like the next 30 years.
Gotcha. Guys,
for like thinking of the developing like the game to be 2 maybe 3 years, right? That means 30 years only make 10 only 10 games. So I have a plan for it. Yeah, if you love it, support us. Play our game. Play my game. I will try to make it as fun as possible and as many as possible.
And you have your supporters right here. Yep. Yeah, and if there was a note about if the single player experience is great and people want more, multiplayer might come naturally, which is true. And I am looking forward to how the game turns out. I like, even from playing the dev build, as you could tell, sharing these, I'm like, I'm excited about these changes. That's why I like even have them all here. So looking forward to it myself, definitely. And yep, just catching up in chat. Advance Wars plus Fire Emblem does sound good. Will be very difficult for me though. Yeah, you have your support right here. We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Cool. I'm gonna open up the floor for maybe one more question if there is. We'll give the chat a little time. If not, we'll be wrapping up. But just want to make sure I cover everyone in case you have questions.
Ask us anything. We will answer you as much as possible. You can always ask him, I mean, here. You can always ask him,
Well, whether I can answer or not is a different question.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I have you.
Well, some things you could answer. Will there be mod support? All right, the mod support. Well, the mod support. I have something in mind as well. It's like a mod support is more or less like a multiplayer as well. Like I do love to, but I was always like keep saying that we have to think about the mod support from the very beginning of the game development. But then my boss was like, "Hey, launch the game first, then we can think of mod support."
Gotcha.
So we're not gonna think about the mod support unless we're gonna have enough user base. I mean, we have to have enough people trying to mod the game, right?
Right.
So if we don't have enough people, there is no use for it. So it may be better off. We may be better off making two, Lost Eidolons 2,
Gotcha.
and build up the user base first. Then after we build enough user base, we could have it,
So it's a possibility, but it will depend.
Yeah, I mean, I love to really like my previous game I was developing. I always wanted users to come up with a story, based on our characters. I mean, you could come up with a story based on like our characters, user created stories, and share with other people. And maybe you don't want our characters, but you want your own characters, so you come up with your own models, 3D models and characters, and you can come up with your own stories and share with the people. And maybe you don't like the skill sets we provide you, so you could come up with your own skill sets, and you can come up with your own monsters, so having mod, I'm sure it's going to add a lot of differences in the game.
Sounds
and
good, yeah.
more fun to it, So I really love to.
Gotcha.
I mean, I always want to. I want it all. I want Lost Eidolons to have all those kind of features, but then we are all limited to time and money and resources. I can't use up everything in my in my company. So give
this guy more love and support, and mod reality.
I really do love from new people, support from new people, and everything else. I need it.
Yep. Jen, spot on. Those pesky little words that make producers cry and developers cry. But yeah, no, that sounds good. I will, again, you have our full support, or at least my full support. So I'll look forward to it. I love hearing these plans. Thank you so much for sharing them.
I mean, I have so much other plans as well. Too much of it. I mean, I have more plans, and I could also share you, if I could, maybe next time, the original version of the Lost Eidolons that I was imagining it. Like the way it is presented right now is not the my original plan,
Oh,
you didn't know it, huh?
I know snippets of it. Is it okay? Will that get us in trouble?
Not sure. That's why I'm not talking.
We will look into it, guys, and I guess next stream will be just full of interesting stuff.
I mean, this kind of behind the story is maybe we could share this after lunch,
oh yeah. That's true.
Director's commentary thingy, we could always come up with the original idea, how I wanted the game to be laid out, the episode wise and story wise and character wise and everything else.
You know what? I'm gonna write that down on my notes so that we check for next stream to give an overview, maybe, or a
all right, good.
Little snippet, a teaser.
Maybe I can tease you guys with the my original story, how I wanted it to be.
Yep, I am actually writing it down, guys. I wasn't joking. It's in bold and red. Cool. Yeah. I hope that we can get the permission, but if not, it will come after launch likely, so stay tuned. Wow. I don't know how to wrap this up. It was so good. I don't want it to end. but you have to but you have to get that build to meet its deadline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for carving out time.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. So, just as a recap, we will come back in a month, not 2 weeks. It will likely be towards the end of August. I almost said July. We're at end of July already. So, for the detailed dates, we will share it, of course, via our Discord, social channels, when it comes closer. But yes, we will see you all in about a month. Thank you so much for joining today, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support, and please continue to support this guy right there. He needs it.
I need it.
Thank you. Have a great evening, and
All
have a
right.
great day in Korea.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining.